What's up, everybody? This is George Kelly, and I am your regional technology trainer and data analyst for the Keller Williams Greater PA region. And as always, on our monthly data updates, I am joined by my boss, right? But also my partner in crime in making this happen, Regional Director Michele McBride. Michele, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everybody. Happy to be here with all of you today. As George said, I'm the regional director, which basically means I'm here to serve all of the people in our region. The leaders down to the agents, we're here to serve you, to help you grow the best businesses you can possibly have. And George, one of my favorite statements is that we don't just work with real estate agents, we work with real estate business owners. And so, as a real estate business owner, you will be looking at things differently than someone who is just has the title real estate agent. And so, we teach people how to grow big businesses and have even bigger lives. And that's something I'm very, truly passionate about.
And the greater PA region is the entire state of Pennsylvania. It is the entire state of Delaware. It is most of New Jersey, central and southern New Jersey. And those areas we've then broken down into subsections or smaller, sub regions that we analyze the data for every single month to see what are the brand by brand sales comparisons when looking through the entire region. So, Michele, first I want to start off with our friends from the great state of New Jersey. 7,243 units. As I analyze this, what I've noticed is across the board, the market, the units wise of the market year over year is slightly down, but all the competitors are pretty much right in their same spot, right? Percentage wise, we're still, number one, and you could add up number two and number three together to even just to sort of get close to where we're at. But every brand, I don't see a single one that year over year is sitting back like, wow, look at that huge difference.
Yeah, congratulations to our friends. As a reminder, for this information, we do pull it from Bright MLS.
Yep.
For the New Jersey slides, we're looking at Mercer, Camden, Burlington, Gloucester, Salem, and Cumberland, just so that we understand who we're looking at. And when we say New Jersey, those are the sections of New Jersey that we're comparing. And what we do is we pull the top competitors in our areas, and we're looking at how is Keller Williams stacking up, just so that everybody knows. I like to explain where the data comes from, because that is something that we do get a lot of questions on, George.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's exciting to see over 7,000 families served in that section of New Jersey that we're looking at for year to date total units.
Next up, we have, hold on, Delaware. Delaware has, they're getting so close to cracking that 3,000 unit mark. Now, these numbers are through the end of October. So, Michele, can we get another 1,250 units sold in the last 6 months?
I think you might see it happen. It's exciting to see Delaware, George, as you know, as we've been tracking these over the years. Delaware was not always in the first position as we were looking at these slides, and so it's really exciting to see them having a stronghold very clearly ahead in the state of Delaware. It's a lot of hard work going on out there. I know that from the beaches to Wilmington, there's a lot of focus, and I'm very excited. We do have a new ownership group who has launched the new Keller Williams Greater Newark Market Center. So it's they're fresh new faces and a fresh new look out there, combined with some of our talent that has been with us for a really long time. We're happy to have that marriage come together and see what they're doing. So really excited about things that are happening in the state of Delaware, George.
And to correct my math, 250 units, not 1,250 units, right? 1,250 units, you'd be passing the 4,000 mark. 250 units in order to crack the 3,000 mark. Now, the city of Philadelphia. Michelle, whenever I put these slides together, I like to put on the brands that are essentially serving as the benchmarks of competition throughout an area. And so if I get people asking me, how do you choose which brands to put on the slide, right? And I'm like, we're using the largest brand benchmarks of competition. So yes, there are hundreds of brokerages throughout PA, throughout the city of Philadelphia. And if I were to put them all on this slide, everyone would look minuscule, right? So what we do is we take the benchmark corporate size locations and we benchmark them against each other. Now, that still brings us to the point where 6,200 units sold in 10 months is absolutely incredible because Compass, Berkshire Hathaway, Remax combined does not move the amount of units that we move in the city of Philadelphia.
And in the city of Philadelphia, we're also seeing that we're definitely seeing a shifting market, George. So as of June, now we're tracking these, but you know when we go back to June, we were seeing that listings were up about 14%,
Mm-hmm.
which I say June's number because that is what you would expect to have been closing out over the last couple of months. And so listings being up 14% year over year. So there are, more homes coming on the market there. And the average supply was around 2 months at that point. So even though that's still considered low, we need more inventory. Things have definitely shifted. And so what we're seeing is we do have more inventory coming on board. So I would expect that over the next couple of months, as we continue to see more inventory come on board, that market, goes more into a more stable market versus a seller's market.
Yeah, and that's a unique thing when we analyze data, not just in the city of Philadelphia, but across the country, right? I feel like that there was a 1, 2, 3 step process that like step number one is buyers had to like say, nah, we won't be paying those prices anymore. Step number two, the sellers won't admit to themselves just yet that buyers aren't paying those prices. So what we see is a days on market increase, right? And a days on market increase and then an inventory increase. And what we hope for is that actually levels out because that's a normalized market, right?
Right.
And when you tip in the other direction, where sellers are like, oh my gosh, days on market is so high and I need to reduce for competition, that's when things can swing into a buyer's market, right? But we are pretty clearly in almost everywhere out of that seller's market officially and hanging in that mid section.
Yeah, I don't see it drastically changing, but we are seeing shifts in that market,
Yep.
which, we have classes that are coming up. Call the Play Win the Day is going to be in the Philadelphia area. We've got Cody Gibson coming in to tell us like, hey, across the nation, here's what's happening and here's what we're seeing working in these shifting markets. So we're trying to keep ahead of it and keep our agents educated to the market of the moment. And so if you are interested in learning anything about, what's actually working in our markets today, make sure to follow us on Facebook or Instagram. We have a whole bunch of training and virtual training and in-person training coming up just for those specific types of things that we're seeing, George.
So next up, Michelle, we go to the Philadelphia suburbs. In the Philadelphia suburbs, just like in Delaware, where we're 250 units away from the 3,000 mark, in the Philadelphia suburbs, we are less than 250 units from the 12,000 homes sold mark. We continue to be an absolutely dominant presence in the Philadelphia suburbs. And as Michelle had stated before, this is one of those data collections that we pull from Bright MLS, and it comes from multiple different counties, right? This is Bucks County, Chester County, Delaware, and Montgomery. And while many other brands, in their comparison that they put out to the world, will look to inflate their Philadelphia suburb numbers by putting in maybe Northampton County or Lehigh Valley in, we categorize them as their own because they have their own MLS system. And so this is purely the Bright MLS data for those four counties.
Yep. And George, similar to what we're seeing in the city, we are seeing inventory start to creep back up year over year. That increase is actually the highest it's been since 2020. So definitely some shifting of what we've been experiencing over the last few years till now, but still nothing so shaky that we're like, oh my gosh, like we are clearly into it is a slower transition, which I think is a little bit healthier for all of us as we start to get used to it. And as interest rates, we hopefully we'll get one more tick down here soon. It'll just start to even out what we've been experiencing over the last couple of years.
Yeah, that sends us all the way out into central PA, where we have been talking about this. If you guys go back, if you go back and watch the ones we've done previously every month, it's like closer and closer and closer and closer. And while this is for companies that really have a strong presence out in the area, we've been working towards that number one spot. And Michele, at this moment, there are 24 units that separate the top two brokerages.
It's really incredible, George, when you go from hundreds of units separating to just a couple of hundred units to just a couple. And right
Yeah.
now we're in just a couple mode. We have welcomed on to our teams several really great producers in that area. And I think that what we're going to start to see maybe next month, but I hope by the end of the year, we're going to see the Central PA Keller Williams offices in clear first place. And that's what we're expecting. And we're excited to see the growth that they've had. Those teams are all working in lockstep, and the training, the resources, the education, all of the different, you look at the different leaders and what they're focusing on. And we've got Brittany, who's really honing in on social media, and Ryan's focusing in on connection and productivity. And we've got the rest of the leaders out there. We've had some new faces come on board, and all of their hard work is really starting to show. So it's very exciting to see what's going on in Central PA.
Extremely exciting, and we're going to keep a very, very close watch on this. So hopefully, look out for the December video where we can maybe look to announce a slight change in the tides.
Cheering everybody on for sure.
Now, Michele, this one is what I call like this. This is the bracket where I almost have to go and reset the data again because the Jersey Shore KW is literally bursting through the top of the current bracket. They are just about 100 units away from selling 2,000 units. And the Jersey Shore, where we have pulled and we've shown data from Bright MLS in these other slides, this one is actually a combination of three different MLSs. This is the South Jersey Shore MLS. This is the Cape May MLS, which those are both Paragon-based systems, and then Bright MLS also to capture in the rest of that Atlantic County shore area. So 1,892 units. Like I said, just a couple of years ago, this was one where we literally took over the number one spot. We finished the year 5 units ahead. Now to see that that's grown to almost 400 units, you start to see where Central PA is heading.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And congratulations to our Jersey Shore family members. Incredible job.
The Greater Lehigh Valley is another one that has its own MLS system. So we pulled this one from the GLVR MLS. Mostly this is, it's primarily Lehigh, Northampton counties, but it does pull the entire MLS data. And you see here 2,482 units, the KWs of the Greater Lehigh Valley taking the number one spot.
It's so great. George, I was able to go and visit with these leaders a couple of weeks ago, and there's no question in my mind why they are in the number one spot. The resources, the training, the education, the community that I saw and experienced when I had the opportunity to visit there, man, I was really excited for just the connection that I saw and experienced, and it was really fun to see my friends in Pocono
Yeah.
and up in Scranton and all of the other Northampton County and Allentown. It was so great spending time with you guys. So thanks so much for welcoming me with open arms. It was great to see so many of our leaders and agents when I was there.
And today on today's leadership call, obviously this is a little inside baseball, but I had to give a little Pocono when they got announced as one of the top market centers. So, ladies and gentlemen, that takes us through the data for the KW Greater PA region. Next month will be the final month of the year, which we will get the November data, right? So everything we saw up through today is through the end of October. Next month, you'll get the November data, and then in January, we will do our year-end wrap-up when all that data comes out for December. But thanks, everybody, for viewing, and if you ever need to get a hold of us, you can email Michelle. No, only kidding. You can reach out to any of us if you have any questions or want some more information about this stuff. Michelle, thanks as always.
Thanks,
Catch you on the next
George.
one.
Have a great one, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.